Welcome, everybody. I had made plans. I was going to start painting today, and then my hand is doing so well. Today they changed the bandages, and the nurse said, I think they're going to release you. I think you have your last visit on Wednesday, and I don't think the doctor will want to see you again, which means I won't be wearing this. And I thought to myself, Hetty, be patient. You can't really paint and not dirty this, right? And you know you love to talk. No, I'm going to need everything. So here's what I'm going to do. And I would love if all of you who are technically way ahead of me give your thoughts on it. You can interrupt at any time because Kenny's the boss and he will love it. Okay, here's what I was thinking.
Should I read out the comments though first? Or should I wait?
The comments.
You got it. Well, Eileen is watching and it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Eileen. We love you.
Eileen. My wonderful Eileen.
She says, hi, Hetty. Thank you for the birthday message. Love you so. And Marilu is here, and she says, hola.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And Sandy is here.
Hi, Sandy.
And she says, love you, Aunt Hetty. Feel better soon. From Sandy.
I feel great.
Great.
Thank you.
And Marilu says, happy birthday to Eileen.
Shall I go on?
Absolutely.
Okay, but you can interrupt with comments at all times. Okay, I was thinking, the world changed so drastically when it comes to communication. I always thought someday I'm going to write a book. I have Facebook. It doesn't cost me a penny. I don't need to hire people to edit. I've got Kenny. And I have all of you with comments. And I thought to myself, let's begin something new. I spoke to John Terracuso, the one who did that wonderful film, which you were going to be seeing one day. And I said, how are we going to do what Eric and I wanted? We wanted to show with this painting that we are not what the newspapers and the tabloids say we are. That we are amazing. And we are. It seems that the news handpick the worst things they could say about us. And that's humanity. And Eric and I felt that when we disappear, if the only record is of what wars we fought and what cities we destroyed and how individuals mugged each other, that's not the truth. And since nobody else seems to speak of the good things that we're doing, let's us do it. And we're going to do it with this. Now, I spoke to John and I said, how on earth, when the painting is finished, can we put in the things that people say they are? Because remember, Eric had said, Hetty, don't put a single person in unless they give you the story of how they see themselves. And I realized, when it comes to speaking about ourselves, we don't know how. We simply don't know how. I know I didn't until John discovered that I speak on Facebook and he uses Facebook. So he doesn't have to interview me. And he knows everything that made the film perfect. So here's what I'm going to do. And any advice and any comments as the year goes by, because it'll take about a year to finish this. And I have to tell you why, first of all. Some of you know the story that I always used to go to see the Rembrandts whenever I was able to walk and take the train to New York or drive. And when that ended, I was able to do a lot of thinking time. And in my thinking, I realized that whenever I went to see a Rembrandt painting of a person, I was so busy watching how he painted the materials and the jewelry and the skin faces that I never looked at the person he was painting. And one day I went there and I saw a portrait that he had done of an older woman, and I looked at her in order to understand her, and it's as if she spoke to me. And it was then that I decided I'm doing everything wrong. From now on, I am going to look at people when I draw them, not just to have them speak to me and to enjoy their company, which I always did, not only to hear their stories, but to understand them. And then I had this wonderful chance, thanks to Eileen and Paula and Kenny going to New Paltz at the same time. I met Eddie, and Eddie allowed me to draw him, no matter how long it took. And I got to understand who a human being is through Eddie, because I watched him over and over on Wednesdays when he came to me. And I am going to introduce you to everybody in this painting by myself, not in who you feel you are, that's up to you to write, but to look at each person and to tell you how I met them and what I learned from them. Because I cannot know who you are, because you don't know who you are. None of us know who we are. And I have to go back to Linda, because it was from Linda that I learned. Here is Linda with the tennis racket. And I'm only going to tell you what I learned, because all of us are so complicated. Each of us is made of so many grains of everything. And that's why when we try to say that somebody is a trans person, I think that applies to each one of us. We haven't come up with the correct word yet, so we use them and their and things like that, because we haven't found the right words yet, and we never will, because each of us is a mixture of so many different people, of such awesome things that we can't be identified. And so I can do it by telling you who you are to me. Because Linda did this for me. When Linda and her family came to see me after I spoke about her on Facebook the other night, they brought me a book to give to me. And this book, after all the conversations, because as I do with all of you whom I ever drew or painted, I try to find out who you are, because you fascinate me. I am fascinated by humanity. And what she did, she wrote about our conversations. And she wrote what I said. And for the first time, I learned who I am in eyes of other people. In eyes of 50 of you, I am a different person. So let's toss aside the definitions we have, because we don't know. And I am going to try, together with Eric, who wanted this to be the truth of who we human beings really are. That we are not good, we are not evil, we are simply miracles. And I have to tell you, I must have said it once, because suddenly from my Panama, I had gotten an email from a relative I had never met, who spoke about it and introduced me to that world. Kenny, the guy who wrote about the universe, can I just, the book is right there in that pile. No, right here. Okay, right there. There you go. Kenny is the best in history.
Okay. Let me ask you to move up this way more. Get you away from that bad light.
Okay.
Come more this way.
This way?
Like a lot more, yeah. Trying to get you away from that light. Thank you. Yeah.
And that I have to thank Jose, my Bilgray relative. Bilgray is the name of my mother's family. And we thought we had lost them all in the Holocaust. And through Facebook, I found Jose. And Neil deGrasse Tyson. And in it I found out that each of us is made of so much. And through this painting, I'm going to teach you and me and the world that we are not simple. We are awesome. Okay? And when I read the book where my friend Linda, whenever we talked seriously, I've never had a friend where we didn't get serious. And I see her comments in explaining me. And I think I'm going to do what Linda did. I'm going to introduce you not to what you think this person is, but how I met and who they became to me. Okay? And so I would like to begin right now with, I could begin anywhere, but I think maybe if I begin on one corner, because nobody is finished in this painting, right? Should I, so that I won't, well, why don't I begin on the corner? No, because there is no corner. There are so many people. Since it's her birthday today, could I begin with Eileen?
And let me just say that Carol Hodkin is watching and says hi. John Taracuso says, hi Hetty, hi Ken, hugs from California. And I think Tracy, I mentioned Tracy Hepner is watching, but if I didn't, Tracy's watching too. Hernan and Fran are watching, Hernan's parents. Carol Hodkin is watching, and Carol says, hi, Hetty. And Lauren Roth is watching, and Dory says, 50 different persons all rolled up into your cute self. And Sandy says, hi, Ken, lots of love. And Dina says, hi, Hetty and Ken, love, Dina Sheldon. And Eileen says, Hetty, Ken, it's a gift on any day to be with you. On my birthday, out of this world.
I mean, okay, so it is fitting that I do not describe you, but I speak of how the parts of you that I was lucky enough to know. Okay? So why don't I just begin? Okay. Even though nobody is finished, let me begin up here. This person is going to be somebody who kept me alive during the winter of the pandemic. She's a dance teacher, okay? And she was teaching dance at senior citizens at the Magnolia. Lisa Wiesel. And there was such joy in her, which was wonderful because I was there and I danced, and it was in those days when my limbs were much younger. I was a senior, but I wasn't 93 years old, and I could move my limbs. And Lisa she had a program on television, and during the pandemic, when I couldn't go out, I danced every day through it. And she had a sentence. She had the same kind of joy that I have. In other words, we were both doing what we loved. And when I mentioned to her that she brings such joy, she would just say one sentence: it takes one to know one, which was giving me an oblique compliment. But in a sense, she loved people, and that showed. And this woman with red hair, I will speak more about her because I never really met her much, but she was the one who began the dancing. And I will be coming back to everybody as I learn more, because if I don't know you at the beginning, I'm not going to invent anything. Lisa I knew so well, so I can talk about her. Okay? This lady is amazing. She's from Vienna, Austria. When I met her, well, all I know is we discussed our children through mail. We discussed the world through mail. Because I only once met her in person when we went to a coffee shop with Herbert. Here's Herbert. And bit by bit you will learn about Vienna, because I will speak about people, of how I met them and when I met them, because that's the only part I know of them. Right? And for Herbert, I need a lot of talking. So when I do that, on that day, I will bring pictures and things, because he made me realize that I am more Viennese than I am anything else. Though I am bits and pieces of Panama, of the Catholic nun school that I went to, who were so wonderful. I am a mixture of so many people I met, and each connected in a different way. And that's how I'm going to be speaking of all of you, okay?
Should I take a moment and just read comments?
Please.
Okay. So, Holly Feynman Lapinel is watching. And Dina Sheldon says, "Happy birthday, Eileen. Mine too, on the 10th. We are all celebrating with Hetty, Ken, and friends of theirs. Lots of ice cream." To which Eileen said, "Dina Sheldon, happy birthday, Pisces sister." And Holly Feynman Lapinel says, "Hi Hetty, second time watching you." And Eileen says, "Live life to the fullest. Great sign in your painting." That is the standout message for us all.
And this is the person who wrote the book.
Oh.
She had been a victim of abuse, and she decided nobody would decide who she is. And she was going to live life to the fullest and write it, and write a book. And I have the book, you'll see it next time. But remember, we meet people in bits and pieces. And you're going to meet all these people in bits and pieces as if you're really meeting them. Because when you first meet a person, you don't get to know them unless you're lucky and you meet a Linda who visits with you and talks to you and then goes home and writes who you are. This is a treasure because we are so complicated and awesome. My hero at surviving is a person I saw on television, a man who was born without arms, who wanted to become an archer. And he learned to put the bow and arrow with his feet. And that's not all. Supposedly, more than any archer in the world, he hit the target correctly. And I thought to myself, then if this hand doesn't work, why can't they make this hand work? And I did my best. And I spoke to my hand. And I said, you've got a job. Until this hand heals, you're going to be the hand. Well, a little bit. This hand is loosening. But since I'm getting this hand back very soon, I won't really push it. Okay? And by the way, another person, but he's not in the painting yet, is Rob Silverman, who is Linda's family. And happy birthday, Rob. And another person who has a birthday now is not in yet, but she is a relative of Linda's. But I'd like to tell you, before we go further, I brought I wanted to show you the computer. Originally, I was going to paint today, but it'd be foolish to risk getting any paint on here. Then again, why not? Maybe next week, but the way it looks, after Wednesday, I might be able to take this off. And if not, if it's the Wednesday after, I'm still going to paint, because I'm going to paint the sky. Okay, now, what I want to say in the remaining time that I have left, I must change Dina's jacket into blue, because my first meeting of Dina, when we had our gallery, Follow Your Art, she came in, this beautiful blonde, and to frame some things of hers, and kept coming back with goodies. She felt we were not eating enough fruits and vegetables. And there are givers and there are takers. Some people just give. My Dina, so I have to give her a blue jacket, because in all the photographs she has a favorite blue jacket, but I had so much blue here that I needed to carry the green over here. So I will do something with green with somebody else. Maybe poor Jeff, who's such a wonderful guy, maybe I'll give him a green something. But that'll be his choice, because I love him and I couldn't hurt him. Maybe, no, John Teracusa could have a green t-shirt. I will ask him. John, you send hugs from California. Could I give you a green t-shirt?
And let me just let you know that Penny Pinsky is watching, and she says, "Hi, beautiful Hetty." And
Penny, I need Harold to come because I don't know him. And the photographs, each one has a different face. Okay?
And Eileen says Dina does look good in green too.
Yeah, but it's not her favorite color. Is our time up? Then I have to tell all of you I love you.
Oh, and Dina says, we got some comments. Dina says, "Ha, all the photos I have with Hetty and Eric, I am actually wearing that blue fleece." And Penny says, "We will come." She has sent you scads of hearts. And John Teracuso says, "Hetty, you can give me any color you want to. I don't own a green t-shirt, so if you make that one green, then I will have a green t-shirt."
Yes. John, I knew I could count on you. We'll discuss this color green as to what I need, okay? Goodbye, all of you. I love you. And let us together discover who we are. We are, as Linda and I found out, we are different to everybody and different to ourselves, because we do not yet know who we are. And the moral of the story is, the moment you judge somebody, you're wrong. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Well, I just have to tell you, got like a whole bunch of new comments, which are, I told you what John said. Lauren Roth said, "Have a wonderful evening." Dina said, "That is so funny, John." And Eileen is did a laughing emoji to John for what he said. And Holly Feynman Lapinel is saying good night. And Phyllis Cooper is saying enjoy the evening. And Dory is encouraging John to get a green t-shirt for St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
Fran Rosenberg is watching. And
Fran.
finally, the beautiful closing comment from Ed Weidman. "We love you, Hetty."
I love you back. Good night. See you next Monday.